medal fight.
Silver medalist at the Grand Slam in Tokyo.
Well,
this is representing Japan, Yuki.
Huysuz said he was retiring last year. This year has come and he's still around.
He's so good.
He just can't stop, can he?
He's a great competitor. I like watching him.
Yeah, he's
because he does get stuck in.
Yeah,
and he's difficult.
He's wily, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's got that experience about him. The condition, you know, isn't there for 5 minutes of high performance international competition judo any longer, but he gives it a good go, and as long as he can end it before the 4 minute period, he's in. Nishiyama, however, is likely to prove a bit of a handful for him. We saw Nishiyama defeating Rekviashvili, Sasho Yereb, Gantulga of Mongolia, and as I said right at the beginning, the #1 seed, Michael Eldred of the USA. He defeated all of those today. This is his 6th contest, and he's fighting for bronze.
It's like the good old days.
Well, I was going to ask you. I mean, there is talk of taking out the top 8 and putting them further along. The benefit of that, to my mind, is the top 8 seeds are then removed from the early draw.
Yeah.
So those countries who really need, you know, those early fights that come a long way, or whatever the case is, they get split up amongst each other. You don't get, you know, the top guys, you know, coming up against New Zealand, for example, or Madagascar or something. Let a few of the others have some fights, knock themselves around in 1 or 2. And then come the 3rd round, you can join in, because you're still going to have to fight the 3rd round, the 4th round, a quarter-final, a semi-final, and the final.
Yeah, but
you're going to have plenty.
Yeah, that's if you've got these numbers. If you've got
only when the numbers are big.
Yeah.
We're talking about in the qualification year. You know, these tournaments. We've got last year in Paris, for example, when we had 70 or 80 in a category. Okay, you pull out the 16. Put them in, you know, wherever, and leave them to it.
I thought that's what they did in Paris. That's what it looked like to me. That
yeah,
they did in Paris.
That's what happened.
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened in Paris. Yeah.
I'm to be honest, I've had that discussion with a number of coaches, and I'm not that keen on it myself personally, because I think that even although you're a top 8 seed, you could be at a disadvantage if you've been waiting for 2 or 3 rounds for players to come through to you, and they've already had the advantage of 2 matches, 1 or 2 matches already. They're warmed up.
Depends who those matches were against.
Yeah,
you might have 2 golden scores.
yeah, but
you might be stuffed by the time you come to the 3rd round.
Yeah, but we were just talking about this Japanese guy who's come from nowhere.
Sakajo, yeah.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of good players in the world ranking list.
Yeah.
You know, who, you know, just because you're a top 8 world ranked player doesn't mean to say that you can't be beaten by somebody who's lower in the ranking
list. Not at all. Yeah, it happens.
You know, because people could be there for a number of reasons. People change weight categories. People may have been injured for a while, not being able to compete, and so on.
I think two things strike me. That the first is the possibility that we allow in these early rounds some kind of preliminary type feel to it. Where, like, these are the real preliminaries, and then this is where the business end gets underway. These countries coming up here from the smaller places, I don't think they're going to be begging for a top 8. You know, they'll see that as their chance, because they come, they score points when they win, which at the moment they don't get. Here's a chance for them to pile up, you know, not pile up, you're going to get 4 or whatever for a win, whatever the number of points it is. So there's a chance for them to score points. It's also a bit of a pat on the back for those who fought to get up into that top 8 and say, okay, you won your place, you get a bye. Rather like the Champions League, the football, they don't have to play in the earlier rounds. They wait until it comes to that pool stage, you know.
But there's an inbuilt inequality, though, I would say, because your top 8 athletes then already have points before they've started. And the people that don't have the points and need the points, you know, they're having to fight 2 or 3 matches before they can get to those people to try and beat them before they can start getting any points. So
well, the only other way though, Denz, is you put them down there and they knock them out in the first round.
maybe.
You know, I mean,
that's it. But that's
there are 1 or 2 Takajos. You know, the rest of them are. I won't even try and pronounce some of the names of them who come.
I don't know.
Get the one shot.
I don't know. You look at
know.
you when you look at what we've seen here today, and you look at some of the players that, have, for example, Mongolia have thrown in here, who have never competed at this level before, and look at what they did. 2 of them finished in 5th place, knocked out some really good high-ranked players. They weren't ranked themselves. They're not even on the world ranking.
First time they've come up.
That's the point.
Well, last year when we had the in Paris, there were 7 fights. You needed 7 fights to win the gold medal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
he
that's
scored him,
beautiful.
yeah.
That's Ippon. He's given Ippon. Nishiyama throws Huysuz with a great, I think it was Ouchigari, with 32 seconds on the clock.
It's another 5-minute contest that he hasn't been able to make.
Yeah.
You know, you saw the steam going out there, didn't you?
Yeah, the tank ran dry.
And he's not able to fight this off.
Beautiful,
you know.
Yuki.
But that was a really good one.
Yeah, good finish. They really do finish well. Look at the use of the arms. They don't stop until their opponent is flat on his back. Look at the use of the arms there. Follow through. Whole body follows through.
Yeah.
It's good.